Hello, my name is Lottie. I am speaking to you from Mind and Bexley, the Recovery College. Today I'm going to speak about 5 positive steps to well-being. There are many ways that we can think about how to help ourselves and to prevent ourselves from becoming mentally unwell, or for you to help yourself to feel better. In the current climate and in the environment where things are changing rapidly around us, we are asked to change our ways of behaving. Looking after our mental health has never really been any more important. The 5 steps we can take to look after ourselves can be useful also during this difficult time. So that's what we're going to look at today in this workshop. So we are going to look at what the 5 ways to well-being are, why they're beneficial, and how we can incorporate them into our everyday life. Research has suggested that there are 5 main areas that we can work on to improve our mental well-being and to create a happier and a more positive life for ourselves. Making small, simple changes can lead to this improvement and potentially decrease the risk of mental health problems. Let's look at what the 5 ways are. They are keep learning, connecting, taking notice, giving, and being active. Let's start by looking at one of them. Connecting. So connecting with people around you, your family, your friends, your colleagues and your neighbors, and spend time developing these relationships. I think connecting and social relationship is something that is on the mind of a lot of us these days, especially given we are being asked to socially distancing ourselves from others. It might run contrary to our natural instinct and also to what we're talking about here. However, connecting with others are as important now as it's ever been. Currently, we might need to find new ways of doing this. Perhaps things like phone calls, social media, and connecting via the internet like Facebook and Skype become more important than ever. And we do encourage you to stay connected during these times. Because there's a lot of benefit to connecting. Feeling close to or valued by other people is a fundamental human need. Forming social relationship is essential to be able to function in society. Here's a few examples. Talking things through with a friend may help you find solutions to your problems or help you see things in a different way. You can talk to somebody instead of sending them an email. Speak to somebody new or share a smile with someone. Ask how somebody's weekend was and really listen when they tell you. Put aside 5 minutes to find out how somebody really is. Or invite a friend or family member to join you for a coffee or walk. All of these things are something that are still possible even in this current situation we're in. Being active is the next one. Do what you can, enjoy what you do, move your mood. Regular physical activities can help alleviate depression and anxiety. It also slows down age-related cognitive decline and promote feelings of well-being. Even slower paced activities such as walking can have a benefit. Below are some ideas of how to get physical. Take the stairs, not the lift. Go for a walk at lunchtime or walk into work or to go shopping. Get off the bus one stop earlier than usual and walk the final part of your journey. Invite some friends for a kickabout in the local park or do some easy exercise like stretching. It won't necessarily make your stress completely disappear, but it will reduce some of the emotional intensity you're feeling. It will help clear your thoughts and letting you deal with your problems much more calmly. Even as we're being more confined to our homes, some don't have to move, and some even don't have to move to actually go to work. Being physically active is still important, or paying attention to it becomes important. There are many ways of doing this. Even nowadays, going for a walk, it could be finding some, exercise classes or even yoga online, and these kind of things. I would recommend another thing, which could be putting on some music at home and have a dance. Have a dance around your living room, even by yourself, or if you live with somebody, you could dance with somebody. Even if that's too physically straining, you could sit on a chair and move about as much as you can to music. This is one of the ways to lift your mood. Take notice. Remember the simple things that give you joy. Reminding yourself to take notice can strengthen and broaden awareness, and studies have shown that awareness of what is taking place in the present really enhances well-being. And if we're able to sort of savor the moment, it can help reaffirm life's priorities. So heightened awareness can also enhance your sort of understanding of yourself and allow you to make positive choices based on your own motivation and your own values. Take some time to enjoy the moment and the environment around you. Here's some ideas. Could get some plants for your workspace or home. Have a clear-cut day. Clear the clutter day. Take notice of how loved ones are feeling or acting. Take a different route on a regular journey. Or visit a new place. It doesn't have to be anywhere expensive, even a park you haven't been to before. I think taking notice is really closely linked to the idea of mindfulness, and how being mindful and being much more aware of what goes on here and now for us can be very beneficial. It's spring outside soon, so one of the ways to take notice is perhaps, as recommended here, go for a walk, take notice of spring happening. Even though the world around us is changing, spring will still come. Keep learning. Embrace new experiencing and see new opportunities. Surprise yourself. Learning new skills can obviously be really useful, but it also improves our mental well-being. It doesn't mean that you have to get more qualifications or go back to university or go back to school. There's lots of different ways to bring learning into your life. I think many of us sort of associate learning with childhood or even our student days. As adult, it can seem as though we have a lot less time to learn new things. But in fact, evidence show that continuing to learn throughout our life can improve and maintain our well-being. Mental well-being means feeling good about yourself and the world around you, and being able to get on with life the way you want. Learning can also boost confidence and self-esteem and help give us a sense of purpose. And on top of that, it can help us connect with other people. Research has shown that learning throughout life is associated with greater satisfaction and optimism and improved ability to get the most from life. For example, people that setting targets and hitting them can create a positive feeling of achievement. Learning often involves interaction with other people. This can increase our well-being by helping us build more social relationship. So the question is, how can you keep learning? Classes and formal courses can be a good way to learn new things, but there are a lot of other ways too. You might think about learning to cook your favorite dish. Visit a gallery or museum and learn about a person or period in history that interests you. You can take new responsibility at work. Fix a broken bike or a garden gate. Sign up for a course you've been meaning to do at night school. You might learn a new language or try something practical or rediscover a new hobby. Not hobbit. Hobby. So here's some of the ideas that we come up with. Giving. Your time, your word, and your presence. Do something nice for somebody, offer to help. Have a kind word. Volunteer your time. Participation in social and community life has attracted a lot of attention in the field of well-being research. Individuals who report a greater interest in helping others are more likely to rate themselves as happy. Research into actions for promoting happiness has shown that committing an act of kindness once a week over a 6-week period is associated with an increase in well-being. There was an experiment that I read about that was with 2 sets of young people. One group, they were divided into 2 groups. One went out for a meal and had a party. The other were encouraged to give a little. So they had to volunteer, took people out, and supported people that were more vulnerable. When the measure of happiness was measured, just afterwards, both group had the same level of happiness after the first week, but after the 6-week mark, the first group happiness had faded. It was a good night, but the feeling of contentment had faded and they didn't remember very much about it. But the second group, that were encouraged to give a little, looked back and felt good about themselves and happy for the people that they have helped. Perhaps giving and being there for others have become extra important in these days. Remembering to stay in touch with people you think might need help or are more vulnerable. Try and help where you can, and it will make you feel better as well. So we've come to the end of looking at the 5 ways to well-being. Here's a couple of useful tips to where you can look up and learn a bit more about this. So there are an app that's called 5 Ways to Wellbeing, which you can download from the App Store and in other places as well. We can also recommend Headspace. Is an app that deals with mindfulness and will help you with this sort of taking notice part. The 5 Ways to Wellbeing app has lots of different tips on it. We also have 2 websites you can look up. One is our Mind website, where there's more information about 5 ways to well-being and tips of how you can improve your well-being. There's also the NHS website that looks at stress and anxiety and improvement in well-being, that also speaks about these 5 ways. I hope that you found it beneficial to listen to this workshop here online, and look forward to seeing you again. Bye.